There are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like to study. There's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight.
Perception is being managed. We are being steered and guided by a hidden hand.
The whole world has been duped by the media that is not real.
Smart thinking, possible time traveler, smart thinking.
That night, boom, contact memory.
And then just, Alex, if you don't agree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I've lost my touch with the ladies.
A lot of people here tonight feel like they lost. You know why?
Now, experts are suggesting that we're in a golden age of shape-shifting reptilian sightings. Now, why is that?
I was, and still am, a huge conspiracy guy. I literally ran out of new tin hat topics to research.
It was most definitely not capable of melting steel.
Then I would be a crackpot if I thought that was the case.
Welcome to the Hypothetical Institute, a podcast about conspiracies.
My name is Luke.
I'm Salty.
I'm Cam.
Hey, gents.
Hello.
I'd like to think you said gents as in DJENTS then.
What is that?
Yeah, like gent.
Gent. Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant like we were living trees that also got down on the D floor.
DJ Ents. DJ Ents on the ones and twos. Oh, this is off to a good start. What are we talking about?
Today we're going to talk about the Dropa discs.
Yeah.
And the missing...
DJ Ents spinning the Dropa discs.
And the missing colony of Roanoke.
All right.
Roanoke.
Two goodies.
Yeah.
One I think is better than the others, but we'll find out that at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, shall we start with the bad one?
When you said Roanoke at first, I was like, oh yeah, that's that place. Bloody in that wagon wheel song. But no, it's a different place.
What, the Old Crow Medicine Show song?
Yeah.
Is that in there?
Yeah.
Huh.
But it's not Roanoke Island, it's the town of Roanoke.
Ah, okay.
Which is in like Virginia or something.
Do we want to start with that or start with Dropa discs?
You wanted to start with the bad one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dropa.
You wanted to keep the suspense up.
So what are the Dropa discs? Or Dropa stones, I think most people call them.
There's some stones. They're in a disc shape.
Yeah, that don't exist.
They've never existed.
Haven't they?
Oh, no, not at all. Zero evidence of them ever existing.
There's a lot of websites that just don't mention that, though.
Like, yeah, because they're trying to propagate the conspiracy.
I guess the conspiracy or the story is...
Are you sure they don't exist? Are you sure they're not just missing?
Yeah.
Or covered up?
No. 100% sure.
I thought... Wasn't this Robbo's topic?
It was.
Yeah.
I thought he would be the one going, oh, are they missing? Did the Russians steal them?
Well, can I make a proposal for future episodes of this podcast? Let's say something doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave that till the end.
Well, no, because we can unravel the story. People still don't know what we're talking about. So we need to tell them.
Tell us then.
So, allegedly the scientists in China found some discs, found some stones.
In the 30s?
Yep. In a cave, along with some big alien skulls and skeletons.
Some graves.
Some graves.
Little skeletons.
Little skeletons with big heads.
Big clumsy
Big
heads.
clumsy heads. Did we talk about this guy the other week? We were talking about the pyramids. I mentioned the big clumsy head guy.
Right.
And that pyramid research got me onto this.
Okay.
What was his name? Hartwig Hausdorff.
Yeah. Which I thought, when I was watching the doco about this, and he come up talking with he was a bit over dramatic. With how he talked, and then his name come up, and I was like, "There's no way that's a real person." It's a real person.
So it was Chu Pu Te allegedly found them in the 30s, and they were excavated, and then for some reason they were just kind of put into a warehouse. The Beijing Academy of Science, another place that doesn't exist.
I saw the Peking Academy of Science.
Oh, okay.
I saw the Chinese Academy of like ancient science as well.
And then another scientist in the 60s came along and got access to them. His name was Sum Nui.
How could you get access if they don't exist, Robo?
Or famously, well, not famously, but this guy also doesn't exist.
Oh, all right. That's how.
So, and people were like, when they're talking about this, they said that name isn't even a Chinese name.
Yeah. If you're going to make something up, at least get your like cultural languages and your names correct for the region.
So basically, he found them, allegedly found them. And they've got politically inscriptions on them. So it's 2 discs about the size of a large record. What do you call that?
12 inch.
12 inch. No, what's the bigger one? The big
78s.
Yeah, 78s. And it had spirals going around. And then
2 spirals.
Yeah.
From the middle.
Yeah. And within that were inscriptions. And he deciphered these inscriptions.
Yeah.
And realised that they were talking about an ancient race of people that came down called the Dropa. And they were aliens, and they came down, and I think they crashed. They crashed their spaceship, and then they couldn't get home, stuck here, so they had to die in a cave and make little records.
Now, there was also stuff that talked about the Dropa people were supposedly a real...
There is a
group of people in China somewhere?
Yeah, Tibetan, I think it's one of those ones that's spelled a few different ways. So it's Dropka, but I think it's also spelled Dropa in some.
Because the sort of thing that the one article saying, well, I won't say article, one website saying that the aliens went and lived amongst the people for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was like, some of them say there's genetic things within the Dropa people that you're like, where did they come from?
They're supposed to all be short.
Yeah.
Like,
but their heads...
It's a bit weird for China.
Their heads, not clumsy at all.
No.
I'd say very coordinated heads.
Yeah.
Just right there on top.
Well, doesn't it track that these aliens have big clumsy heads if they've clumsily crashed their spaceship?
Well, it doesn't say... The way he talked about the clumsy heads...
It was more of a roast, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it seemed to be just sort of like...
Unnecessary?
Yeah.
These big heads... Big clumsy heads.
Like, you've got a bit of reverence about it. You know clumsy's a bad thing, buddy. So then these discs kind of were sent around to other universities to be studied. Someone did put it on a record player and found that it had a lot of crazy loud noise.
Like if you put anything...
Like if you put a stone on a record player.
Yeah. Whoa.
But it gave a big electromagnetic pulse that suggested it had been housed around something that had massive energy. I don't think that's how science works. But I'm no scientist.
No.
So then...
Famously, Robbo, no scientist.
Then the Russians took them.
Oh, here we go. Now Robbo's interested.
This is why I'm into it. And then now they're allegedly in some Russian museum under wraps. People are keeping them hidden.
Why?
The amazing amounts of energy and the evidence of alien life.
We already know that there's alien life because they told us about it.
Yeah, but they don't want us to find out more. What else could be hidden on those messages?
True.
So the real story. You guys want to know the real story?
I suppose.
All right, Cam.
I'm strongly in favour of us not spoiling that things aren't real at the very beginning.
He says that at the beginning like this has got any more legs than what it's already had.
Yeah, like what do you want me to do now?
All right. It wasn't my topic, just for the record.
Yeah, don't just stamp all over it. Stampy.
100% Robbo special.
So basically, in the I think it was the 50s, the first mention of these was in a literary magazine in Russia. So it all comes back to the Russians. But it was speculative fiction where someone sort of said...
More misinformation.
Yeah, right. They've been practicing this fake news for so long. And then it didn't really go anywhere. Like it was a story in a magazine.
Just a story.
Yeah, a fun little story about what if aliens came down, what might happen.
Yeah.
Then some dude named Richard Wegman was published in a vegetarian publication in Germany.
Yep.
Famous for having the inside track on alien civilizations.
It was also like Richard Wegman, and it had a wire label attached, not like AAP or Reuters, but it was DINA, Dina, which was I think supposed to be Denmark, but that doesn't exist at all.
Right.
And then that story didn't get any traction because it was in a vegetarian publication in Germany.
Yeah.
But then I think he tried again, or whoever was behind it, whether the real name was Richard Wegman. And eventually it started getting picked up by Sputnik, which is a Russian magazine, which kind of does out there stories, and another couple of other German publications.
So has he set out to do a hoax?
It's not clear.
Because why would you be like, where's the perfect place to start this? A German vegetarian magazine. Now, it's like, I know in the past some famous German vegetarians have taken an interest in this sort of thing.
Yep.
Maybe that will track.
Yep.
Yeah. They were into Vril. Maybe they'll be into this. I don't know if it would have been my choice for... Oh, but then again...
Oh, it sounds like it...
Mine choice.
It was just a... like, it sounds like he sent the story out. The theory that I was reading, they were under the impression that he sent that story out to a bunch of places.
The press release.
Yeah.
And they've picked it up.
Yeah. They're like short for copy that day.
Yeah.
Oh no, the story about soybeans hasn't...
every day.
Where's that story about soybeans? Fritz, I want it on my desk yesterday. I'll just run with this.
Ironic that the guy writing for the vegetarian magazine's name is Fritz.
Yes. It's more a South Australian thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That was a shout out to my bloody South Aussie listeners.
Sorry.
So, and then it just kind of picked up steam. And looking at these, like, there's a Wikipedia page, and it's quite funny. It says on the Wikipedia page, it'll have, like, the sort of say they probably don't exist, but here's the story. But then it says the things debunking it, like, you know, this person doesn't exist and that name doesn't exist. But someone's put citation needed after all of those. It's like, you know, the Beijing Academy of Sciences doesn't exist. Citation needed. Like, where are you going to get a citation for that?
Prove that it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about really all I found on the Dropa discs. I think so there are photos that accompany a lot of these stories.
What are they photos of?
Discs.
You can't just photograph something that doesn't exist, mate.
Well, there are, like,
famously,
there are historically a lot of circular discs in Chinese history.
Yeah.
It's like an actual cultural, artistic, sort of symbolic thing.
Yeah.
The disc with a hole in it. I think that's like the money's like that as well, right?
So
It's
they used to bury people with like discs made of jade and other fancy things. They're known as bi discs, BI. In use for lots of things. One scientist I was watching said there are thousands of them, tens of thousands of them. Like, it's kind of unremarkable if you find any. But I think what's happened is, to illustrate their stories, they've used photos of these random discs. And then people are like, well, they exist. People like Cam.
I did find when I was looking up the Dropa discs, one of the stories... Sorry. One of the stories is of them discovering the discs and the skeletons, and they go into the.
Did you say skeletons?
Yeah, they go in and they find the skeletons.
Yeah,
it's just a comedic choice, mate.
Okay, that's good. I'm into it.
They go in and they find the skeletons, and they're like, "Fucking, what are these bloody skeletons?"
Yeah, scallywhags.
These aren't human, eh?
Are they skull animal?
Look at their bloody clumsy heads.
Yeah,
look at these huge clumsy skulls. These can't be humans. And one of them, in Chinese, but translated for these purposes, is like, oh.
Hang on, just put angled brackets around what Cam's about to say. And then we can put down the bottom, translated from the Chinese.
They're like, oh, surely they're just, these are just monkey bones. These are just the bones of some apes.
Skull animals.
To which the main explorer bloke is like, have you ever seen apes bury each other before? Because they're like in this burial site. They've been buried. He's like, you ever seen a monkey bury another monkey? Which made me go look up, do monkeys bury each other? And you look up like ape death rituals, and there's all these articles of like, check out this elegant death ritual that people didn't expect apes to do.
Right.
Because they're like, it's not just man that does a death ritual.
Yeah, right.
Some animals also participate in this. They mourn, they grieve. And then you click on the thing, it's like, so the main ape death ritual, like that Dr. Jane Goodall observed, is that if one of them dies, the other ones will like sort of beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, right.
And then they're like...
And they will just jerk off on it. So that's what monkeys do all the time, right?
Come on.
Throw some shit at it. Hump it for a while.
Well, it says that they beat it and violate it.
Well, yeah, see? Don't cut that. I was right.
Yeah. Because then if it doesn't react, they're like, oh, yeah, he is dead. He's not just Not just lazy.
Right. Oh, fucking lazy monkey, get up.
Old Joe, every time I jack off in his face, he always reacts. Now, he's not reacting, dead.
I was like, oh.
Old Monkey Joe.
It's like, we don't need to call him Monkey Joe, we are monkeys. No, yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
I was like, oh, what an elegant death ritual that the apes partake in. What a graceful species.
Elephants do...
Not like us, chucking them in a hole.
Yeah, carrying them dirt.
Burning them.
Yep.
Put them on a shelf.
Smoking them.
Smoking them.
Smoke the ashes, baby.
Yeah. Have you done that?
Yeah, of course I have. Have you?
No. Got a big container of them, though.
Oh, yeah?
Get blazed. Get blazed on me, mum.
I think I'm cutting all this.
Don't cut any of that. That's good gear. People like morbid gear.
I feel like if in the 1930s they didn't know enough about apes and monkeys for someone to turn around and go, have you ever seen monkeys do this? No. So therefore it's aliens. Like, they're still learning about things at this point.
Yeah, true.
What if it was bloody old man Monkey Joe who lived up in the mountains who had a bunch of monkeys that were his pets? They died and he's like, fuck, I'm going to bury me monkeys.
Yeah. With some cool records. Yeah. About records we made.
He's like, you know, like humans who love their dogs, give their dogs little graves and gravestones and stuff. Maybe he was like, I'm going to make some of these buy discs for me little monkeys, but I'll make them a little bit fancy because they were special.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got 1,000 monkeys, got 1,000 discs. Eventually one of them's going to make something you can read. Nah, these are all shit. Chuck them in the cave.
Yeah, all they did was draw little hieroglyphics on their bloody tablets.
The only other thing of interest I found was a guy on one of the documentaries I was watching called David Sarita. He was all in on the Dropa discs. He's convinced they're legitimate. Yep. He also makes the world's most advanced Rife machine, which costs $4,000.
Oh, is this the dimensional flashlight?
Yeah, it looks like a flashlight or a torch.
Yeah.
That's got...
That's the beauty about the flashlight.
Yeah. It's got crystals and quartz and other things in it.
Yeah.
So it's going to fuck up your dick.
Yeah. So $4,000 for that.
Once you get past all the crystals, you're into the other dimension. And you don't know what's there either. Some eldritch horror.
Comes with one of the optional extras you can buy on top.
Yeah.
This is after spending $4,000.
Yeah. It's like a Cthulhu lips.
A 30-minute session with Cheryl, the in-house holistic expert.
Whoa.
She doesn't get a last name. Just Cheryl comes over and talks to you all about this $4,000 thing. Allegedly, these machines are good for health, good for cancer treatments, good for bone density and
fucking suddenly lightening your wallet.
Yeah, suddenly lightening your wallet.
How's it actually supposed to work? What are you supposed to do with it?
You kind of plug it in and you run it all over your body.
Right.
And I guess it shines light through like a whole bunch of crystals and then like 7 rubies or something.
Yeah. So they were invented in the 20s by someone whose last name was Rife. And then there has been no tests showing that they work.
Yep.
But this is the world's most powerful in terms of it costs more than any others.
Yeah. I think there have been tests showing that they're a great way to make money.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's like that pain eraser you see advertised on the telly at night.
I haven't seen that one.
Have you seen that? It's just like a little pen thing with a click button on top. When you get pain somewhere, you just put it there and go click, 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 click. It makes pain go away.
Right. Because you've just stabbed yourself in the leg.
Well, it's apparently, you know, you get TENS machines, which like you put pads on and it sends electrical impulses and it makes your muscles contract.
Yeah.
And does stuff like that. It's supposed to work the same way as that, where it puts a little electrical impulse into around your nerves and it's supposed to disrupt your pain signals. But I think it famously won like every Shonky Award one year because like it doesn't generate actually enough of an electrical current to do anything. And I think it's got like a quartz in the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like supposed to help.
Chuck a ruby in there and you're talking about it.
Yeah.
I did see them in the shop one day and I was tempted just to get one.
What does one go for?
Oh, they're like $30 or something.
A lot less than 4,000.
Yeah.
But you can't get the optional extra.
No.
30 minutes to hang out with Cheryl.
Half an hour with Cheryl.
Yeah. So, yeah. Dropa discs don't really exist at all. Unless Cam, do you still want to admit that they might exist?
No, I was never in favour of them existing. I just thought what if we waited until after we told people they existed to tell them the truth? Just like in school, you teach them the simple thing and then you teach them the more complicated thing. Common educational practice.
It's a callback to an old episode
that we all agree on.
While I was reading about this, I kept thinking to myself, this is coming across like some sort of conspiracy theory that was put together by like deep computer learning, like AI. Like it just grabbed a whole bunch of like little bits and pieces from different cultures and different things and just like went, poof, put it together. It's like this weird, not quite accurate, fake Chinese sounding name.
Yep.
Some old looking photos.
Yep.
Aliens.
Yep. Cave.
Burials.
Clumsy heads. Smash
it all together. Chuck it up on a bloody GeoCities site.
Give it to the Russians.
Yeah.
You'll be away. Oh well, should we take a short break?
Yeah. Let's do it. Walking due south out of Roanoke. I caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long toke.
Is that what we're talking about now?
No, it's a different place called Roanoke.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the lost colonists of Roanoke.
Cam, what are the lost colonists of Roanoke?
Well, Robbo, firstly, they got what was coming to them. Shouldn't have been colonising things.
Yep.
There were some colonists.
John White was the head of them, right?
Yeah. It was sponsored by Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh?
Raleigh.
Yeah.
There's another place. Also in the same Old Crow Medicine song.
Yeah.
If I die in Raleigh, at least I'll die free.
Established in 1585 on Roanoke Island in what is today's Dare County, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So basically, they set it up, but it wasn't really working properly.
They didn't have enough shit.
Yeah, not enough staff. There's some bad relations with the Native Americans.
Compare that to society today when we have too much stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice one, George Carlin.
Little bird on me and on George Carlin.
They weren't the first people to try and do stuff there, right?
Yeah, I think there'd been bits
there
and
was
pieces.
people who had worse encounters with the Native Americans before them.
A bunch had left to go back with Sir Francis Drake. He took a bunch of them left, and there's basically, I think there's 3 groups that went over the years, 1585 roundish, and then only a few remained. And so there was an expedition to go back by John White. So he left and he's like, I'm going to get some supplies.
Yeah. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Let's go get some supplies.
I'll get your gear.
I'll go get the supplies. You got to stay here.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
You got to stay here with the unfriendly native population. But it'll be fine because you'll have more supplies per person.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go.
So he is away for 3 years.
Yeah.
Now, the trip doesn't usually take 3 years, right? He got held up.
Yeah, so there's a Spanish
The
War.
Anglo-Spanish War.
Yeah, it was kicking off. And he said he ran out of money.
Yeah, I think that comes up a lot in this story where, like, he wanted to... later on, there was, like, some stuff happened, and it's like the guy who was paying for it all just wouldn't pay for it anymore.
Yeah,
so
right.
So he had to stop looking.
Okay.
It was like a classic excuse, though, like when your dad goes out for cigarettes and doesn't come back. It's like, ran out of money.
Yeah. couldn't get back.
Taxes.
Yeah.
So the
bloody government.
The English and the Spanish were basically fighting over who America belonged to, right?
Yeah.
The Spanish had a big armada of ships.
Yeah.
And when...
That'll be the Spanish Armada?
The Spanish Armada.
Heard of it.
When John White tried to come back, he got held up because the Spanish were like, oh, hell no. You're not coming to our bloody America.
Yeah.
Hombre.
Yeah, bloody Brit.
And turn that shit around and off you go. Their ships are just like bouncing up and down in the waves.
They're like cholos.
Yeah, I imagine that's what they were like. The Spanish Armada.
Okay, yeah, no.
Like the England Holmes.
You're the wrong neighborhood essay.
So he was delayed by 3 years.
Yeah.
He eventually comes back. All the supplies are probably off.
Yeah. No tins back then. Couldn't tin anything.
Nah. Rolls down to bloody Roanoke Island.
Yeah.
Walking up to the settlement.
Yeah.
Where is everyone?
I was only gone 3 years.
I was only gone 3 years. Everyone gone. Not
Everyone
a
gone.
sign of life.
Everything had been packed up, is how I had it described or heard it described, rather than torn up or left to decay. It had been packed up. There was one word carved into a tree and blood. No, just carved normally.
With a knife?
In the house you carve.
Or like some sort of other sharp implement.
Yeah. Which was CROATOAN, which were another tribe just south.
Yeah. They were like apparently the friendly guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also the letter CRO was also carved somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
CROATOAN was carved into like a support of the... No, that was carved into a tree.
Yeah.
CRO was carved into a
like the
support of the fence they'd put up.
So he had said to them before he left, if you have to leave, carve a Maltese cross, which is like
if you have to leave because it's dangerous.
Yeah, do the Maltese cross, and I'll get here and go, oh shit, shouldn't have come back after all.
Yeah, oh shit.
But
they're behind me, aren't they?
So yeah, it just says CROATOAN, and then basically no one really knows
what happened.
They're I don't know if they went to CROATOAN to check it out. I'm sure someone did.
No, so this is what happened after that. So the ship that he had was privately owned by probably that guy you said before who was sponsoring the whole trip.
Yeah.
So that was a privately owned boat that he was using, and he made 2 attempts to go down to the CROATOAN Island, but both times he tried to do it, there was just really bad storms, and he had to turn back. After 2 attempts, there was no more money. The guy who owned the ship was like, no, I'm not spending money sending my ship down there again. Fucking come back, mate.
Yeah.
So he just had to stop looking. And I would have thought, hey, when I left to go get supplies 3 years ago, I just had a newborn baby.
No, it was his grandkid, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just got a grandkid, the first bloody English-born person in the Americas.
Yeah.
My wife's there, my daughter's there. Fucking jam your money, mate. I'm taking your boat and looking for my family.
Yeah.
Right? What's the worst that can happen? He goes back, gets arrested, and gets sent to Australia.
Yeah. Or he's
in
like
200 years or something.
If I go look at where they've gone, I'm going to get eaten. It's a good excuse to me to not be a hero. I don't want to be a hero.
Yeah. Robbo sell out his family at the bloody first sniff of danger.
No, I'm saying John White, the coward John White.
So he never got to go look again.
Right.
And they were just kind of not thought to have... No one knows where they went.
Just a big mystery.
So do you want to hear some other little
which we'll now solve
parts of the mystery? He created a map on one of his first visits.
I really like this. When I was uncovering this.
Yeah, so there's a map and they found it, and it's been in a British museum, or the British Museum, I think.
He was a really good mapsman.
Yeah, cartographer.
Yeah,
word for mapsman.
$10 word for
$2 bloke.
All right, guys. So the map had a patch over one of the little parts of it.
Yeah,
and they couldn't. It was patched up at around the same time the map was made because it was similar paper or the same paper,
and because when they made maps back then, it was such a huge process.
Yeah,
like ink and like parchment, and you mapping stuff out with sextants and whatever they used to like do distances. So he couldn't just go, "I'll fuck that up, just screw it up, chuck it, get a new piece of paper and start again." So they had to do like patchwork.
So, but they held the patchwork up to a light box, and underneath you could see a shape, which was kind of like a diamond with its middles pinched in a little bit.
Yeah, like a 4-pointed star.
Yeah, and then also on top of the patch, there was also that same shape had been marked in as well, but invisibly. They reckon, the British Museum reckon that they used invisible ink.
Yeah.
And the theory is that he made that map and then covered up that little bit, but he wanted people to know if you knew what to look for, you could squeeze your lemon juice on it. You're like, that's where they're staying.
Yeah. So the idea is you write it with lemon juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You heat it up then.
And then you heat it up.
Right.
And the lemon juice goes black.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that as a kid?
No, I think I read about doing it, but what am I going to write in Invisible Ink? I got nothing going on when I'm a kid.
You write a code.
Yeah. Or you write rude words.
Hey, no, it's a good
You
one.
go, ha, get a lighter. Hey, look at that.
Now you're holding a dinger.
But yeah, so they think that what he marked on the map might have been a fort, an inland fort, where they could either move to or they knew it was there, that's somewhere that they could go. But then, yeah, why did he cover it?
Yeah, why didn't he just go there?
Yeah. So I think that the idea is that it was there, but then he was like, well, shit, we don't want people to know that it's there. I'll stick a patch over it, and then I'll draw it in invisible ink.
I fucked up the first time by drawing it in normal ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a probably more accurate explanation is he made a mistake.
Yeah.
And covered it up.
And then when he went to draw it in the second time, he had no ink left in his pen,
Yeah.
so I just left a dent.
Yeah.
It's like, ah, shit.
Right, so what happened to the missing colonists of Roanoke?
No one knows.
No one knows. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have to go with what they concluded, right? You can't just fuck off for 3 years and expect people to still be there when you get back.
Yeah.
So they're just going to go.
Well,
right?
so there were a lot of skirmishes with the Native Americans while they were there. A lot of drought happening in that part of the world. It was going through its largest period of drought, so that's why they were undersupplied. So I think they were kind of doomed.
Or were they, Robbo?
Well, obviously.
Or were they? Perhaps they assimilated into the Croatoan tribe?
Well, that was...
This is the main theory, I think.
Yeah, so
they had two plans. One plan was to head westward eventually, inland, where there was other settlers setting up. But the fact that they wrote Croatoan into the tree suggests that it was a message to say, hey, we've gone here, Croatoan.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have written, we've gone to
Croatoan
Islands.
That was another
See
thing.
you there, bro.
People were like, if they were going to leave a message, why did they just leave one word? And then people were like, well, maybe they did it under duress, or maybe the Croatoans did it to send a message. It's like, then people say, and then other people disprove that by saying the Croatoans going to send a message. They just cut their heads off and leave them lying there bleeding.
A classic message.
Yeah, just not a word.
Like it'd be far less ambiguous.
Yeah.
That's where the Croatans really fucked up.
Maybe they did slaughter them, and one guy wrote Croatoan into the tree.
Yeah.
And then another guy started writing it into the wall.
Yeah.
CRO. Someone was like, "No, bro, he already did it over there." Oh fuck! So they just left it.
But why did they clean up the bodies after that?
Maybe the animals might have carried them off.
Yeah, maybe they were cannibals.
Everything was all packed up though. Robert.
Yeah, no, good point.
Yeah.
So there is a theory that they turned to cannibalism.
Oh yeah,
they just munched each other. But again, you'd be like,
you'd have one bloke left, or
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah. But you'd think you'd be like, oh well, all of the the beef stocks are, all the beef jerky's still there. There's a bunch of like shoes. Cooking pot.
So some of the evidence that they went and lived with the Croatoans was eyewitnesses, I think, at some point saw some
so people
Euro-looking folks.
People in Jamestown. I don't know what that would be called if you were Native American, but
Whiteys.
They said they saw white people wearing kind of traditional clothes or some British clothes.
Yeah.
There's another
Jamestown also they did get into a little bit of cannibalism,
right,
when they ran out of food there. So it's interesting that they're like, oh yeah, we saw those guys. They were fine when we saw them.
There's also one descendants of one tribe, and I'm not sure if they were Croatoan or another one, but they've got words. They were discovered to have words from that era of English in their language that are no longer used. That had sort of gone
like what? What cooked words?
You've read English in the 1500s, like thine and all that crap. Thusly.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You meet a Native American and he says thusly. You're like, hang on,
where did you hear that?
And also they've had some of their people in the family had grey or blue eyes. So they think maybe that's where. Oh, and they had similar names to people that were part of that exhibition.
Yeah, right. They also found some stuff.
They found a stone.
Yeah.
A Canadian tourist found a stone it was like a little gravestone. So on the front, Aeneas Dare and Virginia went hence unto heaven 1591. Ain, A-N-Y-E, camps, probably a good example of a word.
Mm-hmm.
Englishman Shoe John White, Governor via. I don't know what that means. But then on the back, it was allegedly carved by John White's
Politically.
daughter. On the back there was, it said that all but 7 people had been killed.
Right.
But no one's sure if this is true or not. And there's no evidence of anyone being, like, there's no bones or anything. And then someone else, so they found hundreds more stones. This farmer had found them. They were found to be fakes.
Right.
He carved, they believed it was carved with a drill press.
They found a handle of a sword, an English sword.
Oh, yep.
And also a writing slate, which they would have used for like teaching kids and writing on. I think the rich people would use it for writing.
Yeah. We used writing slates when I was in primary school.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
So we had a little slate.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a blackboard slate?
Yeah.
Not like a stone one, though.
Not a stone one, no.
Even I didn't have
like
that.
a personal one you held.
Yeah.
And you wrote on it.
Yeah.
What did you use it for?
I had inkwells in my desk in primary school.
Oh, we had inkwells, but they were
inkwells,
unused.
yeah.
Did they have ink in them?
No.
Okay.
They had ink residue in them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like days gone by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to buy one of those desks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I keep seeing them on eBay and going to buy them and then not pulling the trigger.
What does it cost?
Oh, $50.
Oh.
Speaking of...
I want one. There's a specific one I want to get. Next time I find it, I should just buy it.
Yeah.
Because my art growing up was done at school on one of those desks. So I have this romanticized vision of having one just somewhere in the room so that every now and again, if I feel uninspired, I'll go sit at the school desk and draw
You
for
know,
like an
just
hour.
sit uncomfortably at a school desk with like, your legs around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of little bloody writing desks, boys, little segue here. Why is a raven like a writing desk? There's the segue. Edgar Allan Poe died
mysteriously
in 1849. He turned up babbling nonsense on a trip from Virginia to Pennsylvania. He shows up in Baltimore, Maryland, just off his chops, babbling.
Probably
nonsense.
syphilitic brain.
Yeah, probably. Just before he dies, he whispers one word. G'day, mate. No, that was... that's a little...
that's an off-mic joke.
That's a little...
No, people get that. That's going to be... By the time this gets out, that's going to be everywhere.
That's a little Andrew Broad joke. Nah, he on his deathbed, he allegedly whispered the word CROATOAN.
Really?
What did Edgar Allan Poe know about the bloody CROATOANs?
Especially he had just been missing and come back fucking lost his mind.
Yeah.
Time travel?
You know who else wrote the word CROATOAN?
Who?
Not long before disappearing.
Amelia Earhart?
One Amelia Earhart.
Oh, really?
Wrote it in a little journal.
I knew the word from somewhere.
Yeah.
What do we know? What do we think that referred to?
I don't know.
Should every time you write something, anyone, just the last thing you write on that page, just put CROATOAN?
Just in case you go missing. Or you lose your mind.
You just, if you're in a bathroom or something, you got to text her, I put some graffiti. CROATOAN?
There was a couple of other people too, right?
Yeah, the Highwayman, Black Bart.
Right.
Many a maiden lost their bubbles to his trade. In 1888, just before he was released from prison, like a big mistake. What do you reckon Black Bart's going to do the minute he gets out of prison? Like, it's just going to... More soldiers are going to shed their lifeblood on his blade if I know Black Bart. He etched the word CROATOAN into his prison wall. They let him out. They never see the bloke again.
Gone.
He's gone. It's like, oh, did you want me to stick around for the hanging? Don't think so. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2. I know what's about to happen to my craft. Ambrose Bierce, the author, in Mexico in 1913, vanished, and the word CROATOAN was carved into the bedpost that he'd slept in the night before.
I'm a little bit spooked by all this.
Also, the ship Carroll A. Deering, which ran aground in 1921 without a crew, a fucking ghost ship. In the logbook, CROATOAN.
Croatoa or CROATOAN was the name of an alien in a TV show as well. One theory I read was that perhaps the township was mass abducted
by aliens.
So
there is a DNA project at the moment to try and work out. I think it started in 2007.
Yeah. This is the mystery that could have been solved at the time by just going to the island.
By going down. Yeah. Just 2 storms. Nah, can't do it.
Yeah.
Guys like, no money. Too bad, I'm going.
Yeah.
It's 50 miles down the coast. Fucking give me a break.
Salter Rowley's living off that potato money that he's gained of his exploits. Pretty sure that was him.
500 years later, what sort of fucking coin are we dropping on this with DNA projects?
Yeah, a lot. As of 2016, there was no descendants positively identified as being part of the colony. So yeah, there's a few theories about it.
How are they testing though?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Do they have a bit of bloody Walter White's hairbrush? Whatever the fuck his name was.
Eventually they're going to 23andMe some Native American guy and it's going to be like, oh, you're just enough random Yorkshireman.
So, one of the theories that I read, and there isn't too much evidence for this, that he got there, old John White, went, oh crap, they're all dead.
Yeah.
This is clearly my fault.
Yeah.
I'm going to cover this shit up.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be gone for 3 years. Yeah. When I was going for supplies.
Or they all died before he left. He escaped.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really want to go back.
They're like, so you're going back, right, with the supplies?
Oh, the war.
Yeah.
Heard about this armada? That's probably pretty problematic.
The Spanish, it's very expensive. It's going to cost me an armada and a leg.
So yeah, did he just cover it up as much as he could?
And then he's had to awkwardly, Robbo-style, go back. This sounds like something that would happen to you.
Why would this happen to me?
If you were this explorer...
I'm a brave man. I'm a brave boy.
Are you so brave that you would, cut through the social awkwardness by admitting that everyone died rather than just going back?
Yeah. So I'm off back to the Roanoke, guys.
That's exactly what you'd do. No, I don't mean any offense. It's just your searing indictment of your character.
You're painting me as
I'm not saying you're
the same brush as the coward John White.
I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying you'd be like, this is going to be an awkward conversation. I'll just go back.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I would.
I don't think I'd be in a position to do that.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't leave. I would stay with my tribe.
To die?
Yeah. I'd put up a fight.
With your dead village?
Yeah.
No.
The alien theory
also
harks back to the strange marking covered on the map.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially it was a landing site.
Ah, so it's like a little... Because that marking wasn't like a traditional map marking.
No, it was an odd shape.
Yeah.
So he's drawn it in, and the aliens with their huge clumsy heads are like, what the fuck are you doing? Dude,
don't. No.
Yeah, have some lemon juice.
Dip your pen in this. This will blow your fucking mind.
Alien technology.
And then, because he drew it in like a red outline filled with blue, which again doesn't seem very cartographic.
Yeah.
Cartographically traditional.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what happened to them?
Yeah, there's a bunch of other theories. They all revolve around them being murdered by different people.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they just went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been a bit of, what's that, the shit in the wheat?
Oh, ergot.
You'll have to blame on everything. Yeah, could have been a bit of ergot madness.
Oh, sorry, Russians.
Yeah.
Russians in the wheat.
Could have been the Russians. They might have just, caught a bit of ergot madness.
That doesn't cause people to disappear, though. What do you think ergot is?
Oh, they went crazy and killed each other.
Okay. And then the last guy's
Johnny's rocked up and gone,
I'm going to be blamed for this.
I had some new wheat. Spanish.
Or the baker turns around, how'd you enjoy my bread?
So, yeah.
It's a good one, though, because really there's no way to prove or disprove any of these theories.
No bodies were found. They still, I don't think, have found any sort of mass graves or any Euro bones.
Yeah.
Sort of nearby.
Well, they thought maybe the bones might have been ground up for a bit of medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Some dinger powder.
Maybe they ground the bones to make their bread.
Hey.
Maybe. Why have they written CROATOAN, right?
Yeah.
All right. First, I'm angry at them for not writing out a fuller message.
Yeah.
But then why is there this crow? What's happened there? Is this a thing where we're not getting the full story because it's just been lost to history? But it's like, oh, and Crow was written on the thing, and then it's because they just ran out of space.
Mm.
It's like there was one guy that got way too optimistic when he started writing it.
Yeah.
He did get smaller and smaller.
Smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Then he realised he forgot a letter, so he had to draw it really skinny in between the other ones.
And so then he's like, oh, fuck it, I'll just go do it over on the tree.
Yeah.
And old Sir White or whoever he is.
He wasn't a sir.
Old Whitey.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll do this for like a favour. I'll leave that out of the story. But he fucked this up. But I'll leave in the mystery of him writing the start of the word.
He could have also been writing it with some sort of tool that broke. And he was like, rather than fashion another tool.
Hey, we're all going.
Let's just go.
We're all going. Catch up.
I haven't got time to fucking forge another knife.
Yeah.
Now, if we'd coordinated on what we were writing,
Yeah.
we could have written out, we're going to CROATOAN.
Yeah.
Rather than just one of us writing CROATOAN and one of us writing
CRO, you could have write GN2.
Yeah.
Gun 2
Yeah.
CROATOAN.
Yeah. Just all CROATOAN and an arrow and little stick figures.
Yeah.
Us CROATOAN.
And a little fishing rod. Gone fishing at
fishing
CROATOAN.
So, John, the more I think about it, the more I think John White's activities in this whole thing are suspicious.
Yeah. He took his people somewhere probably a bit dangerous, underprepared, had to go back. Didn't realise it was going to take him so long to get back. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of the friendly CROATOAN tribe taking in these whiteys and then becoming part of the family.
Yeah.
It's a nice romantic sort of...
It's nice, but how would you feel if you're the bloody CROATOANs? You're like, oh, we've heard news about these other white blokes. Doesn't seem like it's going that well, but we'll be nice to these ones. And then, like, next minute, 500 years later, they fucking ate them. Like, nah, we've cooked them in bloody some nice corn and shit.
So apparently lived out his days haunted by demons.
Yep, rightly so.
But I don't know. It's got a long story.
Cool.
Anyway,
well, I think that does it for the lost colonists of Roanoke.
Yep.
Like, if someone goes missing, just go look for them immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that the first 48 hours?
Yeah.
Is the time that you need to solve a missing persons
I
case?
think that's mostly a TV thing, but yeah.
No, that's in real life. That's why there's a show called The First 48.
Yeah.
Because in a missing persons case, the first 48 hours are crucial.
Yeah.
You can't wait 500 fucking years to try and solve these things. We learnt that today.
Yeah. Also, if one of your loved ones goes missing, quickly look around for the word CROATOAN anywhere. If you see it, just don't bother.
Give up. You're not going to find them.
Gone.
Yeah.
Or if you don't see it, just write it down.
Yeah. If we're going to learn...
looking, look, they wrote fucking CROATOAN.
If you learn anything from this, just write the word CROATOAN randomly.
Yeah.
Freak people out.
Robbo, where can people find you writing the word CROATOAN randomly?
You can find me writing it at aleofatime.com. We've just done our podcast with our annual awards.
Yeah.
Which was a good...
At the SB?
Recorded at the SB Hotel, yep.
That must be nice.
How was that?
Would have been nice to be invited.
It was pretty good. We had some technological... We were the kind of guinea pigs. It's not an official thing yet.
Yeah.
A few technological issues, but it's quite cool sitting in there and people are wandering past, gawking in.
Yeah.
Get out of here. You go throw a shoe at the window. To do.
Is that the thing where that you can sit at the bar and listen in?
So that's been oversold.
Okay.
I was chatting to the sound guy and he's like, yeah, that is so hard to do.
Yeah.
To have everyone with different headphones and different sockets. So they do have
those speakers?
3 sets of headphones lined up.
I don't reckon that would be that hard to do.
Yeah, he explained it to me. Like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, no, but I think it would be hard to do.
Take it up with him, man. I don't know.
Don't need to. I just know that I'd be able to do it.
But there's 3 sets of headphones in the booths.
Right.
And then they're going to add like a dozen more or something.
Yeah.
And
are they going to go in there and fucking give them a bit of a Glen 20 after every use?
Don't know. Do you want me to get this guy on the phone so you can get up him?
I would think it should be a BYO headphones situation.
That's how it was always sold to me. I always thought that was the plan.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can you take your own cans?
Yeah. Oh no, you can't plug them in.
Really?
You can. I mean, when you're recording, you can.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But in the booth, if you wanted to listen, if you're in the bar,
yeah,
you can't.
Where else can they find you online, you goose?
AisleOfTime.com.
So you just did your thing. Are you recommending that to our listeners?
Yeah. Have a listen to it. If you want to find out the best in beer in Australia this year,
Yep.
that's the show for you. You can get me at Isle of Time on social medias. Have a bloody lovely Christmas.
Yeah. You've got a book, remember?
Yeah.
It's too late for that now.
Is it? No, they've got a week
to
buy it. You said you were going to put this out today. So they have 1 week to buy it. This is the perfect week to be buying your book. This is the ultimate emergency present.
Is your book stocked in Kmart?
No, it's bloody not.
No, I was in there. I was looking for it.
Oh, yeah, I look every time I'm in
saw
Kmart.
another Australian beer book.
I hope you trashed it.
I sent a photo of you with me with it.
Yeah, I do remember that. Trashed me instead. Keg Bottle Can. It's about beer. It's in bookshops except for Kmart.
It's in good bookshops.
It's in Target.
Yeah.
Is it in Amazon?
I think so.
Yeah, well, they've got if they've got Amazon Prime, they have time for priority delivery.
There you go.
Put a little bookshop out of business.
Yeah.
Just head into Target. $20. Get yourself a good deal.
Yeah.
Salto.
You can get me at Saltmarsh on most social medias. Instagram for artwork. Check out Toehider on Patreon for music and art.
Yeah. Look you up on Society 9.
Society 6.
Society 6.
You could look me up on Society 9 if you want, but you probably won't find much.
What about Society 69?
Hey.
What about sugardaddies.com?
Yep. Saltmarsh on there as well.
You can find me at Sextonheimer on Twitter. Gather around me on Facebook and iTunes for my other podcast.
Anything come out yet?
Yeah, we put out an episode last week, all right?
Nice.
Good.
Put it out with the new segment, Suppression Order Speculation Corner, on the same day that like a massive suppression order story broke. And I was like, I hope the county court's not going to see me promoting my podcast and get grumpy at me. Anyway, we're recording a new episode tomorrow.
All right.
So Suppression Order Speculation Corner is going to get a massive workout.
Hey.
I think everyone already knows who that is.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who it is on the thing. It's a different sort of suppression order
All
to
right.
the one we covered last time.
Awesome.
Cool.
Bye,
All right.
guys.
So is this our last episode for the year?
Yeah, other than our Patreon news. Oh, they'll come out at similar times.
Yeah, we'll put out some sort of content release to tide you over.
That'll be a tasty treat, I'm sure. Yeah. When are we back? Do we know?
We'll be back sometime in the new year.
All right.
Early in the new year. Can't stay away from you boys for too long.
Hey.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
CROATOAN.
Don't worry about a thing, except if all our world leaders are alien reptilians. I said don't worry about a thing, except maybe the fluoride in our water supply contains mind-altering drugs. Don't worry about a thing, except whether or not Port Arthur was a false flag operation in which to disarm Australia. I said don't worry about a thing. I accept you can definitely hear John Lennon say I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. Ooh, don't worry about a thing, except not only did Bush do 9/11, but he also keeps the planes out in Area 51, which, let's not forget where all of the aliens are. Don't worry about a thing, except Donald Trump is clearly a woman and you're just blind if you can't see that. Why don't you open your eyes?